Shalom, Rawbat, Salam, Shalom, Salam Alaikum, Namaste, ¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está? Welcome. Alun. Want to start getting into some reading. You know what I mean? Get back into reading books, whether they books or digital books, but get back into reading books. You know what I mean? Get back into knowledge of our natural selves, something like that. Natural selves. Is everybody running around during this sun virus, crown virus, right? As the crown topples and wondering what to do. Who's going to come? The Most High sent you. You're here. We are here to deal with the unnatural things of this world and restore it to its natural state, which involves restoring ourselves to our natural state. Since we're dealing with coronavirus, mutated strains of flu, you know what I mean? Mutated strain of everything because of the regimen, you know what I mean, that people have been on. You know what I mean, with the antibacterials, you don't know. Antibacterials and all those type of things, antibiotics and things like that. While they do kill off, you know what I mean, some of the viruses and bacteria, it also makes virus and bacteria stronger that survive. Same thing with anything here, you know what I mean? It adapts to survive. Adaptation is a strength. But since we're talking about viruses, we're going to talk about healing ourselves with the herbs, because the herbs were given for the healing of the world, right? That's what the Helios Biblos, or the Bible says. For the Bible told me so. You know? But it's apparent when you look out, you know what I mean, at nature operate in accordance with the law. Not the rules and statutes, you know what I mean, artificial laws, you know what I mean, but true natural laws. Oh, in the background, I thought it was interesting that there's a show called Caliphate on Netflix. Caliphate. Successors. You know, funny because I'm also preparing documents to set up the trust for my Khalifa, my successors. You know what I mean? Family successors. So I find that interesting. But this caliphate, I haven't really gotten off into, but I'm trying to see what the tie-in is to successors in this show. In the meantime, in between time though, the book we gonna be dealing with, you know what I mean, is The Wise Woman Herbal Healing Wise by Susan S. Weed. You know how things be when you be on weed. Ash Tree Publishing. And you can see that is a cartouche. All right. With a horizontal. So we'll be dealing with, you know what I mean, the book, but also, you know what I mean, we'll be learning about signs and symbols, you know what I mean, in art, you know what I mean, as a part of the message as well. You know what I mean, you know, like the rising sun symbols and shit, or setting sun symbols, you know what I mean, or the sun on the horizon, or it's rising, you know what I mean. The healing, the herbal healing, you know what I mean? As the sun provides the nourishment, and then we reciprocate, right? That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? Even in my crazy state of drinking all this poison and eating all this poison and shit, I still know through and through. You know what I mean? So we know better. We begin to do better. So, you know, cut back on some things. You know, you just work towards balance. You see the little spiral symbol. You know what I mean? Vortex. May the 7 directions empower this medicine work. May it be pleasing to my grandmothers, the ancient ones, and may it be of benefit to all beings. So mote it be. Table of contents, acknowledgements, you know what I mean? Part 1. First there's an introduction, a foreword, the image, and then the notes on my way before part 1 begins. And then part 1 is traditions of healing. Part 2 is green allies and deep roots. And then there's a section called the herbal pharmacy. Then there's the glossary and the recipe index. So there are recipes as well. You know what I mean? Maybe we can start up a little bit of light gardening, you know what I mean? Grow some of these herbs and roots and things. That would be nice. Something to share with all beings, you know what I mean? Including the animals that are most definitely going to come through and partake. So that's something to think about. At the same time, place to place. Bedouin. So the introduction. A wise woman of my acquaintance, a tiny and intense Italian strega, peers into the murkiness of the immediate future and announces with operatic bravado that we humans have at most 15 years to create the big turnaround of healing and holding ourselves. That's the time frame, she swears. And unless we make the massive changes of mind and body, brain, spirit, to enact the required transitions from disaster and devastation to nurturing and balance, this beautiful planet, her human children, and perhaps all living things as we know them will be lost. So this is for now. And physicist Max Born's painful assessment will have proven true, that nature's attempt to evolve a thinking creature on this earth has failed. Imagine that. No, man, the Most High does not fail. On a more positive note, however, possibilities, plans, and hopes for making the necessary changes in person and in our personal relationships to our earth are vigorously alive. In fact, the planet herself feels more and more alive, molding us into skillful partners of her processes, willing us to relearn her ancient mysteries and share them through the gracing of those whom she claims most deeply as her daughters and sons. Right? One such earth daughter, perhaps the most vivid and original of my acquaintance, is Susan Weed. The secrets she is willing to share through her role as keeper of the wise woman traditions are among those which can reawaken us to a new understanding of health and earth body wisdom. Yeah. How to get familiar with the craft, this ship, this avatar. Susan frankly and provocatively offers the wise woman way of life as a healing alternative to the body alienating, body objectifying methods she describes as the scientific and heroic traditions. Nobody want to be a hero. Each word inviting us to nestle into her sense of union with the earth. Susan engages us in learning to perceive health and wholeness as the essence of any condition and teaches the questions of how and what and why as the issues when we seek healing wisdom. How and what. She gives us a renewed sense of the power of true enabling, working, as she says the wise woman does, from the center of the void, which she feels is the place of female energy. In fact, her entire description of the way of the wise woman is refreshing, courageous, and clear. One feels after reading it that one has raced through tall meadows or tall meadow grasses to the top of a high hill and been wrestled to the ground by three happy Airedales. But Susan gives her wildest whimsy and most extensive explorations, dare I say her most scientific understanding, for her detailed discussions of mother's gifts in the form of the plants with which she works. The plants talk to us, sing to us, tell us stories. We are treated to a rich description of the power each plant embodies, if we are thoughtful in caring of us and work with them appropriately. To work with appropriately. Susan offers us her understanding that to learn a plant fully and deeply is to live with it for a year, in all weathers, and all variations of daylight and starlight. Working with her book in the same manner will also grant you the year giftings of nature's way. And that introduction is from Jean Houston. PhD. That was March 1989. All right. The foreword. Forward. Healing wise nourishes. Healing wise springs from love. Healing wise flows through compassion. Healing wise is as natural as birth, as certain as death. Healing wise is the joy of the individual and the strength of the community. If you think the only healthcare options are the established scientific way and alternative methods, it is because the third and intuitive, individualized way, the unique wise woman way, is invisible. Healing wise is done with the eyes. Healing wise is done by hand. Healing wise is charged with meaning. Healing wise is in tune with the seasons. Healing wise is holding, like your whole self, your holy self. Healing wise is holding and holy. Healing wise is letting go. Healing wise is timing. Most of the healthcare done worldwide and most of the healthcare in your own life is part of this third invisible tradition. Healing wise, the ancient ones know. Healing wise speaks the truth. Healing wise walks in beauty. Healing wise says, you are the beloved child of the universe. Healing wise is a deep-rooted oak tree. Healing wise is a waterfall. Healing wise is full of smells. Healing wise is in all full mess. All full, like full mess. Healing wise is often earthy. Healing wise is real. Why do I give words to the invisible, this hard to know wise woman way? It is time now to see with clarity and wisdom, as crones have always seen. Crones. Crones. What they called, which is old women, wise women, crones. Cronies, you and your cronies. Crones, though. Interesting. Healing wise is green, gold, glancing, rainbows sparkling, dancing. The wise woman way heals the planet as well as the people. It is time now for us all to remember how this can be. Time for us to be fully conscious of our choices for ourselves and for our healing wise at your doorstep. Healing wise is your granny's memories. Grandma memories, grandma words of wisdom. Healing wise requires effort. Healing wise knows change. Healing wise honors transformation. Healing wise allows perfection. The wise woman tradition of healthcare focuses on prevention and on remedies which are accessible, inexpensive, effective, and safe. Yeah, that's what Big Pharma does not give you. So it is time now for us to recognize and support the wise woman way in ourselves, our communities, and the global village. Right? Healing wise lives inside you. Healing wise is fun. Healing wise is a clear course through turbulent waters. Healing wise, the way of the wise one. Healing wise, the wise woman ways. The wise woman tradition fed out of our current medical, legal maze and into heartfelt, wise use of our life resources with respect for all life and all people. It is time now for us to trust this thread, to name it and claim it. Healing Wise does this. Healing Wise, the second in my Wise Woman Herbal series, is about the Wise Woman tradition, a way to help us all name, claim, know, acknowledge, recognize, support, and nourish the wise woman wherever we see her, right? Healing Wise identifies and explains the three traditions of healing: wise woman, spiralic; heroic, cyclical; and scientific, linear. Understanding the nature of each tradition will help you choose the healthcare helpers most supportive of your own motivations and health goals. Understanding the viewpoint of each tradition will help you make sense out of conflicting claims about the validity of specific healing substances and procedures. Healing Wise introduces you to green allies, the green allies, so you can choose a friend or two to help you through. Each herb talks to you, tells you tales, reveals her uses, and gives you remedies and recipes. Before you know it, the green leaves of chickweed, dandelion, violet, nettle, oats, and seaweeds will be your daily supporters. And with a bit of effort, you'll have the deep roots of dandelion and burdock lend a hand when times are hard. It's such a pleasure to share some of my most beloved friends, some of my most beloved friends with you, the plants. Here then is Healing Wise. My thanks to the midwives, clowns, artists, storytellers, cooks, mothers, musicians, farmers, herbalists, healers, doctors, and lovers who have shared their lives and wisdoms with me. Here then is Healing Wise, my giveaway to the health, wholeness, holiness of our planet and every being on it. And that's the foreword. And that's Weed, April 89. Then you have the image. Put that in your mind. You can see the woman. You can see the energy coursing as the snake. The image. This is a dream I had during the recreation of an ancient Greek healing rite, an Asclepion, with Gene Houston and 125 students of human capacities during the summer of 1987. So then, we're going to pause for a moment and do a little bit of due diligence. Signal's been acting up. But we'll do some due diligence. Come back to that. Gene Houston. Quantum powers. That's what comes up. Learn to operate at your highest energy level, even during challenging moments. we can see how tie in. So I did doing and what comes up is the lessons Gene Houston wants everyone to learn. This is Super Soul Sunday, Oprah Winfrey Network, and I think this is her sitting with Oprah. I think, because all this stuff ties in together. We got Susan S. Weed with the herbs, Gene Houston, and they was talking about something they did in '84. Signals is really getting crazy right now.
One of the great challenges in this world. Enough about a subject to think you're right.
What is the message that is most imperative for you at this stage in your life, that you most want people to know?
I want people to know that we have been gifted by God with human capacities that are so huge. And in many ways,
The author of The Wizard of Us. Wizard of Us.
Many different personas,
So you can go
many different talents, that our story is that we are all on heroines' journeys, and above all that we are sourced in spirit, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And by golly, we are adequate to the challenge of the time. But also to see it in others. It's the seeing in the others. I think that's really what I meant by the seeing. It's seeing is have so much life.
Between that bridge of
the bridge of otherness.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you, where do you want to be?
I'm as good as you do. And I want to fully embody the calling. I think I'm sort of like touching around the edges of it, and I knew that for me to release your show, which was very comfortable for me to do, and I created that way, to release that and to step into this next generation of being able to reach people at a different level. I knew.
Yeah. So you can check that out. So this is Gene Houston, and with all this going on shit, the Crumb was just at one of Oprah's estates, because the rumor was going around that she was being implicated on some child trafficking. Shit. That's how crazy she is right now in the 2020. Everything is being seen clearly. Everything is being put in front of the optics. But that's Gene Houston, and they were with 125 students of human capacities during the summer of 1987, where she had this dream image that I showed you. Which is an ill image, when you really get off into it. I don't know what was going on out there, but let's continue on. In a time very long ago, very far in the future, there were many temples and shrines of healing. So many that there seemed to be none at all. Every home was a sacred healing space. The whole earth a shrine, an altar. The healers were priestesses and priests, queens and kings. The healers were all ordinary people. Their robes and costumes were the ordinary clothes of their time, beautiful and colorful, plainly and exquisitely stitched garb. Their names were ordinary names, evocative, wonderful names as goddesses and gods everywhere are called. Though they could heal, there was no disease. There was no disease they could heal. There was no disease they could not heal. There was no disease in the land, no need for healing. All were whole, all holy, all were healed, all healers. Miracles were the ordinary play of all. All miracles were to be played in an ordinary way, a common way, a vulgar way. Vulgar miracles always evoking the heal laughter, everyday laughter, healing the whole, holy jokes, wholly funny, the game of healing, joyous amusement, amusing the muses, amuse filled with light, trying out the game of disease to learn the fun of healing. Healers make disease so they can play miraculous games. We are all healers. We play to heal. We call to you from the future, from the past. Come, healing, playing, laughing with us miraculous ones. Tickle us, touch us, heal us, hold us dear. We are always you. We are always here. And that is the image. Then you have the notes on my way to the wise woman tradition. I was confused about health as a child. My parents had to ask a stranger if I was healthy. I was confused about health because the stranger said I was healthy and then gave me an injection. No one ever asked me if I felt healthy. I was confused about health as a young adult. There were so many ways to stop pain, feel good, look my best, and enjoy life. And sometimes I did and sometimes I didn't. And how could I tell what really helped anyhow? I was confused about health because some of the ways others tried to be healthy seemed to harm me. And some ways of staying healthy I tried seemed to contradict or undo the benefits of other ways. Also confused about the validity of claims and studies and folklore and my own experiences of being sick and staying healthy. What could I trust? On my own as a grown-up, I attempted to clear my confusion. I was confused by the damage I saw from drugs and surgery, so I rejected modern medicine and its doctors. I was confused by the damage technology did to people and the earth, so I left the city and went to live in the country, where I built by hand a cabin, no plumbing, no electricity, no phone, in a meadow in the Catskills. I ate what I grew and what I and others accidentally killed on the road. I became a goat herd and cheese maker. I practiced yoga. I meditated. I cut down trees to dry and burn for winter warmth. I made love. I went for long walks. But none of this exempted me from illness and injury. I continued to be confused. Sometimes I had my health, and sometimes I lost it. Sometimes I had accidents, and sometimes avoided them. Sometimes I overextended myself, overate, and overworked, yet I often remembered to relax and to reward myself sensuously and well. If I did all the, quote, right, unquote, things, would I be healthy, happy, and free from trouble and pain? If living simply in the country and avoiding chemicals wasn't enough, what was? I started alternative health. I read Jethro Kloss, Bernard Jensen, Arnold Ehret, Ann Wigmore, Adele Davis, Dr. Walker, and Yule Gibbons. I worked in several health food stores as resident herbalist. I was still confused about my health. Like the customers of the health food stores, I thought of healthcare as being either traditional or alternative. Traditional medicine was MDs and the AMA. I was victim, powerless, drugged and cut open. We would have none of that. Alternative medicine was enemas and wheatgrass juice and vitamin pills and personal power, and we were all doing it. But I became confused when I saw the loss of vitality in people on severely restricted diets such as strictly vegetarian, only raw foods, or extended, frequent fasting regimes. And I was really confused when I saw that everything and anything helped some of the people, some of the time. In a seemingly unrelated part of my life, I fell in love with women, the goddess, and myself. And I pursued my love completely, committedly, devotedly. I turned my vision to see the goddess in all. And as all women, I realized that traditional and alternative healing were not so different. Just as suddenly, I knew there was another way, an invisible way, a woman's way, the way of the great mother, the wise woman way. And at last, my confusion cleared. I began to walk the beauty way, the unique spiral maze of the wise woman. I walked there still. Join me. And that was notes on the way. Here's the next image. Here you can see what is also the crystal city and the energies within it, the jewels within it. Wave, particle, spiral. Right. And right there we'll stop before we go into the three conditions of healing. Alright. 41 minutes. That's the introduction to healing why. We're gonna get into it